Hello everyone! I hope everyone's having an awesome Saturday so far. I'm going to be bringing on Jen and Dan. They have been working so hard on something that we're launching just for our own team, kind of that coincides with the Power 4.0 that we just launched yesterday. So lots of exciting things. I wanted to bring them on here today. They have just poured so much energy into this, and I just wanted to have them on just kind of to dissect it, tell us what it's all about, how it can maybe be beneficial to you guys. And yeah, so Jen, it's her first time doing a Facebook Live, so we're going to have lots and lots of grace as she pops in here with her husband Dan. But as you guys are tuning in, just go ahead and let me know if you're watching live, or just go ahead and type in replay. Also, if you are on our Prosper team, just type in like Prosper in the house, and I want to hear like your favorite thing that you love about being on our Prosper team. All right, Jen, I'm bringing you on. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm sending invite. If it works. If it works this easy, this is like so seamless. I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh. So
What's
good.
up, Ashley?
Hi. Long time no talk.
Long time.
Are you guys like right side up?
Are we for you?
Yeah, you're great for me.
We are not right side up. We are
Ignore it.
sideways.
Just like look at like my forehead so you guys aren't distracted or something.
Perfect.
Well, I was just, as you guys were coming on, I was letting everyone know who's watching that you guys have been working really, really hard on Prosper Sync. In fact, I didn't even know about it until you guys talked about it the other day. I know you guys have worked really, really hard on everything. I'm still new to solar. I love working with you guys both so much. Jen, you're amazing. Why don't we just dive in? Let's just tell the audience, like, I don't know, maybe talk about your background in solar, all that jazz.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So my background is in sales and psychology. I've been deep diving, trying to understand how to best relate to people the benefits of solar. And on that path, I've worked with lots of different top companies from everywhere from a startup level to a Fortune 200.
Wow.
And yeah, so I've had the privilege of looking at a lot of different systems of the way different companies try to put solar out there and the processes they use and the programs they use. And that's given me a really good deep background for both what works in the industry and then what can be improved.
Yeah. How many years have you been in solar again? Like this actual solar? Because I know you know like so much.
Well, yeah, sales for a long time, but 5+ years in solar specifically.
Wow. That's amazing. Dan, how about you?
For sure. Yeah, thank you. Been in tech for probably the past 15 to 20 years and solar with Jen for the past 5 years. We really started out, probably about 5 years ago, really just, trying to find what is the best route to actually go into this industry and how to actually approach it from a technological perspective, rather than just from a, try to close people one call close. How do we actually manage the leads and bring them into a system in which is can help us manage the follow-up, help us be more consistent with the clients, and treat them a little bit more from a human perspective rather than just a number and
absolutely
discarding them. But yeah, deep background in tech, programming, developing, a lot of CRM automation, a lot of workflow management. So emails, texting. Really what I'm trying to do with all of this is put AI and a lot of automation in between essentially the lead collection and the follow-up process so that we can streamline booking appointments and consultations for the closers.
Yeah, I think so. In my mini experience with solar, my first experience was I don't have people to talk to. I have no one to talk to. Like, I'm not gonna go like door knock. I'm not that kind of person. There's some people that just like love it. I'm not that confident. I'm extremely confident on the phone. And then my experience being on the Prosper team is just actually having so many leads. And like people can fall through the cracks really easily. There can be people that are almost to close that don't close right on the spot. And then before you know it, I've already moved forward and I've forgotten about them. and each person is really different. So there are people that absolutely close within 45 minutes. They're signing docs and they're ready to go. And then there's other people that, you know, want to like really mull it over, and it might take a week. And with how fast our team moves, like our team is just like, I've said this 1,000 times, it's because it's true. We're such a well-oiled machine. We got our setters, catalysts, or solar pros, whatever we're calling them, and our closers, and everyone has like their designated role, and we're just like running always. So to have a system that can keep up with us is what is needed. Otherwise, there will be, like there already has in the past and up until now, have customers that are left behind. So maybe we can talk about, I had it written down like very beautifully, and now I can't say it. Oh, yes. So what are the biggest challenges solar companies, like let's just, I know it's not going to be the same for Power and for Prosper, but just like across the industry, that they face managing and organizing leads? Like, what have you guys seen? Because, you know, I only have a little bit of experience here.
My experience is people burn through leads,
Yeah.
and then just kind of toss them out the window, and they're treating people like a numbers game.
Mhm.
And we really feel that people are not numbers, people are people,
Mhm.
right? And when we come at people from that level of really wanting to understand what's going on with them, what's their concern, and why do they want to go solar, and when we treat people like people, then people treat us like people back.
Yeah.
And I have people calling me from 5 years ago that are asking me and referring their neighbors. It's that referral tree really happens when you treat people right. And so that's why we broke away originally from the big solar companies, to try to do our own thing so that we could treat people the way we would have wanted to be treated when we were looking for solar, right? So it's kind of wanting to repair the bad reputation that's in the industry for how leads kind of are just tossed aside. And so for us, it's all about like keeping people in a system and keeping them warm, and then knowing where they are, even if it's somebody I'm going to touch base with in 2 years from now, I have that somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you use a good system, you can keep track of all that.
Yeah. And I love the idea that it's automated. My personality is, I'm going to give 110% to this person right here in front of me. And then I have one again in 30 minutes and it's 110%. And this one, if they didn't sign, I've kind of forgotten about. I'm not going to lie, unless they make like a huge impact. You and I were just talking about this, like having like a heart to heart and being like very real with people. Like I got kids running around in the background. People call me Olena. You remember Olena? She calls me in the bath the other day, taking her call, helping her walk through docks. Like I have become like
Who was
so
in the
close.
bath? You were the
I took a bath and she called me and I
Oh.
answered. Because
That's dedication.
it's dedication.
And poor
But I
boundaries,
will,
maybe even.
and some boundaries, and I have none. I have no boundaries.
Bathroom time's your time, Ashley.
I know.
What
I gave it away. But I think I was just gonna say the whole point of me saying this is like we have really lost touch with the fact that we're talking to another human on the other line. We as a closer, we're just like, I have to get them to sign this contract because that means I get paid, versus looking at it of like, what's the pain point? How can I solve it? And am I even the fit for them? Are they the fit for me? Because if I'm not, let me gracefully maybe let them have some other options and step back. Or maybe it's not even the right time. Maybe it's like, you know what? I've been running like lots of death in families lately. It's like a trend. And it's just like, you know what? I'm going to call back in a month. It's not the time. I'm not going to push it. I might be able to help you like sign contracts today, but go grieve, go mourn, or go do what like life is. And I think that's for like people and personalities like me that can then go on. We have to have a system like you guys set up that is like allowing us to have the reminders, allowing us to track these people. I have like I might remember a name, but I will always remember a face. And I think that this system that you guys set up is allowing us to capitalize on like just moving forward and moving forward fast. Dan, what were you going to say?
Totally. No, that's it. Everything you're saying is a good point.
Yeah.
And what I would say is kind of circling back to, you know, treating the clients with a lot of respect. The best leads you can get are referral leads, because you have the connection. You have a 1-degree connection to a person that had a positive experience with solar. And if you truly are going to be in this industry for a long time, treating your client network with a lot of respect will in the future pay off. Obviously it's not going to pay off immediately, but if you continue to have good process and groom people the right way, they will come back and be a referral network for you, which is 10 times stronger than any Facebook ad or cold network that you could do. The referral network is very strong. So treating people with that respect. And we also love selling in a pretty passive way, where it's, we don't want to pressure sell people. And that's another reason why we like having a system, is because we like to be a little bit more passive. We don't necessarily need to hold their head to the fire and make them force them into a decision. It's, we can be patient with them.
Yeah. And I think in the sales industry, it is very like, close the deal, close the deal, close the deal. How many closes did you get? What are your numbers? You closed 1 out of 4. Like, how many people you talk to? And these are really good. We actually need all that. We need the drive and the structure and the numbers and the goal. And we need like some depth, or we're not going to be around. And I think as we expand our team, Jen, this is something we talk about a lot, is we want the people that aren't going anywhere. We want the staying power. You and I both had some experience in the network marketing industry, and I would see people hop company to company and always complain about money or their finances or their team being like not sustainable. And it's just like, well, pick something and stick with it and like dig in hard and make it your home, grow your roots, and then have a system like this that you can plug into, So, okay, let's talk about, okay. So let's just talk about Prosper Sync. So tell us about it. I'm like, it's incredible. I was flipping out when you guys launched it to the team. And then as you guys talk about Prosper Sync, also for those who don't know about Power 4.0 and what we just launched, like how are we going to like merge it into like what's happening in our company and our team? Because this is Prosper Sync is just for our team, of course. Dive in.
I'll start and then you go.
Okay.
So I'd say this is basically for people who are in the gig economy. This could be for even moms who are looking to pick up some extra cash, or people who are already in the real estate or the roofing space and have customers, or insurance people who talk to customers already. This can be an additional income source for them. And it is very much a plug and play. And that's what shifted with Power. So we've moved from one model to another model where we can really capitalize on having front end people out there pulling in really quality leads, and then having a closer team such as we have at Prosper that's really, really dynamic and trained well and knows their stuff and is speaking truth, right? That's really important, is to be giving people the real deal, right? So that they can trust that what we say is what's going to happen. And for me, there was always a lot of struggles in these different industries or these different companies I'd worked with, and how streamlined they were in their process, and sometimes a lack of psychology as well. And so we kind of put our heads together and started our own system basically years ago with this concept to be really streamlined. And then that kind of brings us to today, really. And Dan, I'll let you.
For sure.
Yeah.
And basically, we basically want to develop a system that could manage leads very effectively. Not having it over here in this list or written down here on this notebook or over here, and also CRMs.
That's me.
Right. And a lot of people in the solar industry don't like CRMs because they can be complicated and it can be hard to find things. And a lot of people think like, oh, the data management, when I add that piece on top of it, it's like, what's the point? It makes contacting people longer. So really the goal with all of this was to make it so it was simple from a user perspective. It was streamlined so that the automations would happen and actually give the person that's using it the peace of mind or ease in using it, so they actually are encouraged to want to use it. And then basically streamlining the process back up to Power's platform. So a lot of the onboarding intake information that we'll do into our CRM, once they actually get pushed into the Power platform, a lot of that information will be automatically passed through the API up to Power. So there's not redundant information being added. If you're doing good data collection in the beginning, it will actually follow you through all the way to the lead when it makes it to power. So just putting a lot of infrastructure in place to really make it so the user has a good experience.
Yeah.
They're able to contact a lot of people, and yeah, we're able to like scale more easily, essentially.
So, we're talking about the setters as the user.
Yeah.
So we have setters, closers.
Yeah.
PowerSync is specifically, it's going to make the closer's life easier because everything's going to be more organized and streamlined. And it's going to make the setter's life more easy because they're going to have their leads and their dials, which we should talk just a tiny bit about, like the fun thing with the dials, because I think that's like such a game changer. But what you're saying is with PowerSync, this allows our setters, I'm just going to dumb it down because I need it. And then correct me if I'm wrong. They're going to be able to essentially, these are my working hours. Let's say I'm a full-time mom. My kids are at school for 4 hours. I got 4 hours to I got to make $1,000 this month. And so that means I got to make 10 appointments for whatever closers I assign it to. So our PowerSync allows me to pop on my phone. We'll go into the dialer. Let's say I make my appointments and I gather my information and my utility bill. From there, PowerSync allows it to just essentially integrate with Power. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a relay race, right?
Yeah.
And like PowerSync is like that baton thing that they use. And
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So the setter just basically like inputs all the stuff, takes the baton, puts it into the Prosper Sync, and then the closer just takes the baton and then finishes it. And it's just a streamlined process when there wasn't one before. And there would be things that fall off the cracks because it wasn't streamlined or organized.
Yeah. Well, and everyone was trying to do everything. Like I'll always want to set a lot of my own appointments. I like being there at the beginning so I can be there with them at the end. I'll always do that. And I do also value that we can have a system where closers can look at their calendar and they're booked up and it's already done. And just as important, the setters wake up, they have their leads, they're dialing with the auto dialer you guys have that's going to allow them to make a ton of calls at a certain amount of time, actually not spend time with dial tones, and actually spend time with people on the other line, gather the information, it automatically is inputting, and then it's on the power system. Is that correct?
Got it.
Totally. I would say there's two different dialers. We have one that's integrated directly into the CRM. That's a one at a time. Yeah. And that's basically what most setters will come into to begin with. And the idea is that if a setter does really well with that type of setup, then we'll upgrade them to what you've been referencing, which is the power dialer. And I can give a little bit of information in the power dialer.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's essentially so the way a dialer works typically is it will be a one call. Excuse me. It'll be one call. It will connect, and then you'll do what you need to do with that call. You'll disposition it. You'll go to the next call. And what the power dialer does, this kind of upgraded tool that people can get if they're really good at with the one-on-one, is it will actually dial 10 numbers outbound at a time, and then once it connects a human, it will actually connect it to the agent.
Wow.
And then if it detects voicemails, it will actually leave a pre-recorded voicemail.
Wow, that is so cool. I know that there's going to be people on here that are like, well, I want to be a setter. How much is this going to cost me? What is it costing?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think
your time.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's where the answer is nothing. It doesn't cost anyone anything, with the stipulation that we're not looking for anyone, just everyone and anyone. Like, we are looking for people like us. We like to talk to people. We're cool with handling objections. Me and Jen specifically Jen, because you're more on the setter, but I also a lot as closers get no's all the time. And it's just kind of like water on feathers, like just whatever, on to the next. Those are the kind of people that we're looking for, you know? Like, and people who have like the grit and who are dedicated and they're not going anywhere. They're not just trying to like piecemeal stuff. Like those are the kind of people we're looking for. Jen, you want to speak on that at all? Like maybe you can even talk about a little bit about let's say someone's watching this video and they're like, I want to make $1,000 extra, and I would love to be plugged into a system that was already created for me for free, and I can get paid every week, every Friday, to help pay for date nights and stuff like that. Maybe speak to the type of person we're looking for, and then what are their days looking like? How are they plugging into our system on the Prosper team?
I think we're looking for people who are have more of a go-getter energy.
Yeah.
People that are willing to be creative in finding ways to find leads for themselves, and also willing to put in the time. So if you're making a bunch of dials and you hear no a bunch, that you have to have thick skin to know that the no is not about you.
Exactly.
And to also be able to artfully know how to take a no and a closed energy and then turn that energy into a yes or an open energy. And there's specific techniques that we train and that we work with from a psychological level that allow us to be very effective at both teaching that skill set and also identifying it in others as well. So when we're looking to interview people, we're testing on real world communication skills, and that's from the way you communicate via text. We're looking for people who are, I would say, even overly friendly, people who really can handle working with lots of different types of people in a way, with that thick skin as well, and that verbal linguistic skill set to be able to get it to happen. These could be like gig economy people looking for some extra cash, or people who want to make this a full-time position as well. So it really depends, and the day can vary, but the best times, typically somebody who's available Saturday morning, that would be really great. Fridays are really good during the day. We have a lot of people with success in the late morning and success in the evenings. Yeah, so it just depends. So we can work with you on what your availability is, but we really are looking for a specific type of personality and person that we want to make sure that if we're taking you into this system, that you are going to be successful. And we're going to give you a lot of training as well to help.
And we're also not afraid to say it's not a fit. I think there's a part of us that's like, yes, everyone come here and let's make lots of money. But like, it's the people that can like stick with it, and the ones that we might hear on the phone that are having a hard time like handling those objections, or maybe they're a little bit shy, and we got to work on that confidence. Those are the people that we might say, there's another role for you, maybe over here, but it might not be on the SWAT team, or it might not be with us on the specific thing. And we'll find a role for everyone. We want everyone to be successful, but with this specific system on the SWAT team, using Power Sync, because of all the resources, your guys' time, like all of the, there's been so much dumped into this, and we're offering it literally on a silver platter. We're like, here's leads, here's a system, pick up the phone, make some money. Like, we're literally giving so much that we just want to be met equally with setters that are ready to go, right?
Exactly. So this isn't for everybody, and you can absolutely join the Prosper team under one of our great closers or setters. And at some point, if the skill set improves to a certain level, we'd be happy to pull you into the system and then take you to that next level. But it is really an elite system, and there's tiers even within SWAT. So you're either using our manual caller, or which is still super fast and effective, or you're using our power dialer, which is that next level. But you have to be skilled and trained to be able to handle that type of quickness and power of that amount of influx coming in. So that's why there's levels to it as well. And we're looking for people who have the attitude that before they get on their calls or they start those dialing, they can kind of put the world aside and say, like, how can I serve this person best today? And that's the attitude.
Yeah. Because even if it's a no, it's, you know what, I hear you, I'm going to call back in a month. Like, or leaning in, maybe understanding that their objections are smoke screens, and digging in a little bit. Tell me a little bit more about that. What do you mean by that? And then realizing that their objections aren't even real, and helping them break through that so that you can actually serve what they actually filled out the form to look into solar for. Because what's cool about our leads is they reached out to us. Each person that we get on the phone with, they made the first touch point, and that's what makes them special. At least with like the leads that we're offering most. All
100%.
right.
And what I would say from a day-to-day perspective too, it's as easy as just logging in and then you go to your call block and you start contacting people, or you follow up in the messages. It's very straightforward. You come in, you hit the ground running, and so long as you have a little bit of training on how to disposition the lead, which is probably the biggest thing, how to move them through the pipeline, how to make sure you're keeping up with where people are and understanding kind of how to work an opportunity through a pipeline.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the biggest thing.
And being like coachable,
Yep.
being cool for one of us, Jen, to say, you know what? I just heard you on that call. You did a great job. Here's how to handle this objection next time, because it's going to happen again. Or whatever, being coachable is huge. We're also learning every day. Every day I get off a close and I'm tweaking what I could have done better. And that's we have to be like that, or we will just be stagnant, which is why this system is created, because we're not going to be stagnant anymore. We're going to be hitting the ground running super, super fast. All right. So as far as those who are watching, if you are listening to this, you listen to Jen or Dan or I speak, and you're like, I feel like I fit that criteria of what they're looking for. I have the drive, I have this like the grit, and I have the coachability. Then what you can do is just comment here or reach out to any of us and just say, hey, please consider me for the SWAT team, or what you guys have going on. We will continue to post and share things. Our team is at top of leaderboards. We're all doing really, really well. We're a team that's pretty unstoppable. And what you guys created, is going to make this team, we just 10x'd ourselves. We just need a few days to get like it warm. Like we're gonna do so well. Is there anything you guys want to just offer to those who are watching, as far as like what they can do, what they can say, or reach out to us, or anything they should know before we log off? No?
I think if you hear the call and you're curious and you're an investigative person and you have that inclination that this could be for you, to reach out.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just to say, keep in mind, there's not even strings attached. In fact, we've done all the work and the legwork for you. It's free. If you're going to be on the Power platform, it's 20 minutes of training. And then we're going to take you under our wing, our entire team, because we are like a huge family and we all help each other, because that's how we get things done. We're going to help you, and we want you to succeed, because when you succeed, the team succeeds, and that's how we roll. So that there's zero strings attached. You just have to be willing to meet us where we're meeting you, because we offer a lot. Anything else?
Well done. I think that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for popping on. I know it's a Saturday, but we'll see you guys bright and early on Monday, and we're going to kick all ass.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Alrighty.
All right. See you out
Thank
there.
you.
Bye, guys.